Holy smokes, that was
The
amazing
Lion
intro.
and the Corey Myers here.
The Corey Myers.
For Level Up Business Mastery.
Yeah, does my mic sound pretty good, man?
That's not the right one. Yeah, it sounds awesome. Yeah, we've been having some
good.
technical difficulties, both of us. So
hell yeah, my mic was super glitchy this morning. Did a whole 30 minutes of just spitting the fire, dropping the gems, going after it early in the morning. It was totally shot. I have to redo it all over again.
He had the laser vision. Yeah,
I had laser vision. He totally got blown up
for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, today you talked about, what did you talk about today? You talked about getting
it was 10 ways to inject cash into your business right now.
Absolutely perfect. And that's something that we're going to talk about tonight for this fight. This is Biz Basics again. You know, we're going over some things that some business owners know, some business owners don't know. We're trying to just build up those building blocks and have a base layer for everyone that wants to join this community. They've got a place to go learn something, even at the lowest level. So Biz Basics, we're talking about financing tonight. And really what we're talking about is building your business and your brand either through your bootstrapping efforts, and we'll talk about what that means, or seeking outside financing, which means we're going to go to a bank, we're going to go to an investor, we're going to go to friends and family, whatever that looks like. And we'll kind of explain, we'll go down those roads a little bit more here in a bit. Yeah. So, Robert, what you got your 10 ways to just make 10 grand, 10 marketing ideas, and you've got way more than that. I guys, he spits fire.
The knowledge.
Look
at this forehead, bro.
It's a 5 head from all the knowledge. So, guys, actually, we're dressed down today, or I'm dressed down. I think you got a nice palm tree shirt on. But my air conditioner was out, and so t-shirt today. So I got to do a shout out to Wonder Tree. They make killer websites and marketing. If you go through Wonder Tree, go talk to Riker and tell him that Corey sent you, and he'll hook you up. So, so I love this shirt. It's a next level shirt, and so it's really soft. Just like our spreadsheets shirt, which I'm now realizing that I don't have a link for ready to go. But we'll soon. Show me your spreadsheets.
All right. So one thing I wanted to mention about just finance that actually kind of helped me before we kind of get into the weeds. So I'm a big believer in bootstrapping, and basically doing it from the ground up. But I also have, over my many years of bootstrapping businesses and trying to grow businesses, is that the bootstrapping mindset sometimes need to shift. Okay. So sometimes people like myself who have just started like 20 plus ridiculous businesses and just done all kinds of different endeavors, and just thinks that we need to bootstrap everything, realizes that mindset isn't going to get you where you want to go if you're trying to build bigger, if you're trying to grow even larger. So I think both ways of starting a business is super powerful and just super important for people to learn about. And I'm sure, well, actually, I don't know. What are your thoughts, I guess, on this topic of either bootstrapping or finding finances, Corey?
So I think one of the things that I said to you the first day we met was I would rather be a prince in a kingdom than a king without a kingdom.
Yeah.
And so what that means is I would love to share equity so that we get the ball rolling, whether it's bringing a partner on, whether it is getting some investments to get the ball rolling. I do enjoy going down that road and that route because you're able to, the things you already know how to do, you're just going to add volume to it immediately. You're going to add impact to your marketing by being able to really set down and get your marketing honed down if you've got enough capital to keep you afloat before pre-sales. So bootstrapping is never a bad idea, especially if you've got some good capital to work with.
Hmm.
because you are going to now own the entire thing. So when you do blow up, you own the entire thing. But
Right.
what happens is a lot of people hamstring themselves because they don't plan enough ahead for that bootstrapping. And so I've got $50,000. Well, really, a business that you're trying to start, the market
Hmm.
successfully, the ones that actually become successful are spending $2 million. So what you might want to do is turn that 50 into a deposit onto a $200,000 loan or $500,000 loan, whatever you can get, and maybe transmit that bootstrapping mindset into a growth mindset, saying this is going to be used for the business to hire people, to get the office ready, to buy
Hmm.
equipment, and to work on our marketing, our copy, and everything else. So there's
Yeah.
lots of different ways to look at that. Um, but there's nothing wrong. Everything that I've done up until now has been a bootstrapped effort. And I've had really successful ventures in the past. Fidgetbomb.com was extremely prosperous for me. And it was an e commerce store selling the fidget cubes and fidget spinners.
Yeah.
I exited that by closing the doors because the demand sank rapidly. So I
Yeah,
just got
that
out of
was
the
one of
market.
those. What is that? It's a trend business, and like
That
I
was
like those
definitely a
businesses.
trend thing.
I
Yeah,
like
and
those kind of things.
I
Though.
like doing those things. I was consulting while I was doing that, so
Yeah,
it was an
just kind of fun.
additional. It was a side hustle kind of thing that turned into me stuffing bags until 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
think I think a
I
lot of
think
people should try and get some funding though. But I think first things first is like make sure you're not excessively living over your means. Like you should be having
yes,
a pretty basic house. You drive a used car, and then put all your money aside. And if you can fund
all the
your
Dave
own
Ramsey
ventures,
rules.
yeah, well, not all of them. Fuck that. Some of them.
Well, I think, and that's one of the things that I think that people get mixed up, and I'm kind of glad I thought of that because we didn't do a script or anything tonight. So we want to talk about these things, but Dave Ramsey is one of the culprits to make you think that leveraging a loan to make your business
Right.
better. Now you're taking on debt. You're leveraging that debt
Hmm.
for the business. Now, if you
Right.
take on debt for a liability like your car, like,
Hmm.
hey, I'm going to go spend 30, 50, $60,000 on this car and pay it off over time. That's a liability.
Right.
Whereas taking a loan out $700,000 for your new golf studio to train people how to golf is leveraging the
Investment.
bank's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're leveraging the bank's money or someone
Hmm.
else's money to make this thing, this dream of yours, actually happen.
Right.
I see this a lot in projects and internally in businesses. And what happens is, the old, hey, I've got this project. I think it would be great. Okay, present it to the board of directors or whatever. Okay, we presented it. The board says, well, I see that you got $800,000 for the budget for this. What can be cut so we can get that down to 500,000? And my answer there is, even if they say 759, I
Hmm.
say, I've planned very carefully for this budget, and without this budget, with this budget, I think we've got the best chance for success. Without it,
Hmm.
I'm sadly I'm going to have to walk from the project. I'm just not going to do it because I'm not going to
Yeah.
put my name on something shitty. So, so it's the same thing with a business. Think about your business and really plan all your budget items out. And I've actually got an appointment with someone tomorrow to kind of work on some budget items for their business. And make sure we're thinking of all of the things that all of the costs that are going to go into this, and
Yeah.
not just to open up your store or do something, but actually to get a market share. What does the design of the inside of your store need to look like? What does it need to feel like to actually make an impact and get people drawn into your store?
Hmm.
um, that may be a clothing store with shiplap walls. You're kind of a rustic clothing store, and then you've got for men, you're like a men's clothing store, nice collared shirts, and you've got an aroma thing in the corner, like that little aroma thing. Go away, Siri. Um,
He's trying to find you a
that
suit
little,
now.
yeah, she's trying to give me a suit. So that little aroma thing is
Suit
500
aroma.
bucks, So that little thing that it's going to keep your store smelling like cologne all day is 500, 750 bucks. And so you've got to understand how much things actually cost to make your vision come true. And then if you do need some cuts, hey, let's maybe take we can have an employee go and spritz the store with some cologne every once in a while instead of buying the 500 thing. But if you can get everything that you need that is going to make your dream come true, then try to do that.
Yeah.
Why not, right? So
I think people should definitely
let's
try for funding if
give it
their
the
business
best
is going to
chance.
work. I mean, the biggest
Yeah.
fear is like you get funding and then your business sucks. Like if we just look at the market right now, I mean, during COVID and during the whole crypto boom, these companies have had bullshit businesses, completely trash businesses, and getting outrageous amounts of funding for it, and then just going bankrupt. And all these investors are pissed, and I think money is going to be kind of tightening up. You know what I mean? So it's just an interesting thing to think about, and just kind of like, is my business model actually going to make it to the prosperous seas? Or is it a trend business? And is funding available, and is it necessary though? I think that's the thing. If it's necessary, you should try and get as much as you possibly can. But if you can bootstrap, maybe think about doing something around those lines.
Yeah, and I would definitely suggest that, if you think that all you can get is whatever you've got, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And there's grants for you,
Right.
especially I mean this in all due respect, but we're going to talk about race. If you are a historically underutilized race like Black and Hispanic in the United States, there's definitely programs for you. There's grants for
Mhm.
you. Military veterans. If you're running a business, there are programs out there. I know in the
Yeah.
state of Texas, there was a program where you could file your LLC if you were a veteran. It may have been disabled veteran, but if you're a veteran, I believe you can file your LLC in Texas. You could. It
Mhm.
expired, and I think they're going to try to get it going again. But you could do it for free instead of paying the state fee to start your LLC up.
Yeah.
And so, if you wanted to do that, there's so many ways to kind of cut costs
Right.
or add in some donations from friends and family, some
Right.
equity from friends and family. Um, you know, building that pre-seed funding bubble of 10 grand
Yeah.
or 20 grand. And if that's takes you from 50 to 70, fantastic.
Right.
I would say, taking an assessment of what you really need to get this business looking good. We've all been in those businesses that are just, they smell bad. They're like, this guy's running the business, and it's usually like appliance, like small appliance stores. I'm gonna pick on small appliance stores. Make them smell better, and I won't pick on you. Sorry, but they've usually got some kind of unkempt staffing, and they're just kind of wallowing around. Then you go to like a Serta store to buy a mattress, an actual
Mhm.
Serta store. They've got training for everything. They've got everything's matching colors. All of their shirts are tucked in. They've got belts. They've got khakis on. Whatever the deal is, right? But they've got a uniform. Their hair is brushed or combed. And they've got a script. Well, how much did it cost for Serta to create that environment? You're going to be competing with these kinds of companies. If you're a mattress company, you're going to be competing with Serta or Sleep Number. There's Sleep Number stores in malls everywhere. How are you going to make your thing look? How is it going to feel? Those are
Mhm.
big, important things that you need money to produce that result for
Yeah.
your end user client. And so if you're starting with $0, you're not starting out on the best foot. That's really the principle here. So if you can sell something immediately, I know some consultants out there that they're selling to Fortune 500 companies their services, and they can turn a couple $100,000 in a couple months.
Mhm.
If you can generate that kind of revenue from doing some side thing that you're doing, and then create your business with that money, absolutely do a little work,
Yeah.
and start it up.
Don't you
The
think the
other,
best practices to get funding is like try for like 3 months to make as much profits be shown on the books, right? And then take that to all your business loans, like we were talking about, veteran loans, whatever grants or whatever you can apply for. Because once you're showing you have profit, then they'll give you endless amounts of money. Because I mean, one of the
yeah,
best investments for businesses is investing in profitable businesses. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I would say, if you can get something set up where it's just enough minimum viable product to sell.
Hmm.
We're gonna sell this. We're not ready yet, but we're gonna sell it. It's MVP, or
Yeah.
hey, we've got a great design. We just need you can get on it's not GoFundMe, it's the other one for inventions. What's that one? Or is it
Isn't that
GoFundMe?
it is GoFundMe.
Oh, okay. I was thinking GoFundMe was like for medical. A lot of people are using it for like,
Or I
their
don't know. I think it's
personal.
GoFundMe. But yeah, there's all
Oh, we
kinds of
had a
ones like
fire.
that.
GoFundMe. Okay. So either way, go to GoFundMe, put your idea, get at least enough money to put your idea into a video and have, your shape of your toy or your gadget,
Mhm.
3D kind of modeled, and maybe have a 3D printed prototype that you can show to your GoFundMe audience. And that's pre-revenue funding right there. Hey,
Right.
I want to pre-order this thing, so now
Mhm.
you've got enough capital to buy the equipment to make the thing.
Right.
So there's all kinds of ways that you can make funding. I will say though, I wanted to touch on, before we get off of bootstrapping, and this is all bootstrapping. If you're doing non-equity funding, pre-seed, if you're getting a grant, sometimes that's a non-equity transaction. They're just gonna give you money. That
Mhm.
to me is still under the bootstrapping umbrella. So don't ever think, hey, I'm losing equity during this deal or whatever. Like on some of that stuff, you're spending your time filling out forms and writing a paragraph about your business and sending it off, and somebody's going to give you a grant.
Right.
You don't have to pay it back. You don't have to do anything. I will say, the hustlers out there, the side hustlers out there, the guys that they're working hard, they want to
Mhm.
start a business. Let's take this uncertainty off. They want to start a business, but they work at Chili's,
Yeah.
and um, but they want to start a business, and they've got kids, so they got to take care of the kids,
Mhm.
and things like that, right? What would you say, Robert? They need to, if they've got a business idea, they want to make it happen. They really don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of time because they're working 10-hour shift,
Mhm.
sometimes a 12-hour double shift or something. But what would you say would be the catalyst that they need to interact with or whatever or do to get them on the right foot starting a business from scratch?
I mean, I
From
would say,
I work in a restaurant, but I have an idea.
yeah, save a couple months worth of rent, write up a really good business plan for your business, make sure it's very detailed and it looks like like what you're going to do and that you're serious, and then contact, everybody that that has some money that might be willing to invest in it for you and with you. You could launch the GoFundMe. There's tons of ways to get social media on your side to invest in your idea, invest in your thing. If you can create like a good story, a good business plan, and then just really tell people how serious you are, and like this is what it's going to look like, this is what it's going to be like, and this is when I'm going to pay you back. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do just about anything. And then just start with what you got. I mean, the biggest thing that people get screwed up on in their head is they make excuses and they say they can't start a business where they are right now. Well, that's not true. You can start drawing pictures of your business. You can start writing business plans. You can start writing up your scripts, your copywriting, all the important stuff that has nothing to do with how much money is in your pocket. It has to do with the direction of where you're going, the focus of what you want to do, and just kind of, putting in the effort before it becomes anything. Everybody wants that entrepreneur lifestyle, but they don't want to do any of the work and they don't know what it takes to get
Yeah, they
there.
want to be a gangster or they want to be a lion, but they don't want to do lion shit.
Shit, yeah.
So one of the things that I will say about that, and I'm glad you put your insight into that because that's absolutely right. The people that say, "Oh, I can't do it" or whatever, yeah, you're right. But if you say I
Yeah.
can do it,
Yeah,
and
or
you
this is what
actually
I'm gonna do.
you put your hey, I'm tired. At the end of the day, I was doing all this stuff, but I'm going to put an hour into writing my business plan and getting this done. You can get on
Yeah.
Google, get a freaking Chromebook, get on Google, go to the
Yep.
library. You don't have a
Mhm.
computer. If you don't have a computer and you have a smartphone, get on your smartphone. Um, do something where you're going to research and learn about. And this is a great place to do it in the Level Up Business Mastery
Mhm.
site on Facebook, free. You can come in here and you can kind of figure some stuff out. And we're going to be posting new stuff all the time. But get on Google.
What's
These
that?
websites, these websites like HubSpot they have all these blogs. I mean,
Yeah.
they hire people to write these blogs to make their product look better, which the product is okay. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they've got tons of blogs. They're a great resource. Google anything you want to learn about business, and you'll get the basics of it. You're not going to go a mile deep on most of it.
Yeah.
But YouTube is a great resource. But spend an hour of your night, even though you're tired, sit down instead of watching Netflix or Hulu, watch a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Get on YouTube, find something. Robert Lyon's got enough videos that you will never be bored ever, and we're gonna continue to make Robert's videos. But that's the thing is you can just get on and learn and learn and learn. So I think that was a perfect point that you made.
Mhm.
One thing I will add is from my point of view, I think you sometimes you need a lily pad, you need a launch pad.
Right.
So your big business idea, I want to own a chateau.
Yeah.
Crazy dreams. I want to own a chateau. It's gonna be a business, right? Of course it is. It's me. But I want a chateau in the United States, and I want grapes that I can sell to vineyards and other wineries. And then I want to be able to host weddings, and I want to be able to have a bed and breakfast, and I want people to come out and be able to do things, have activities, have anniversaries, wedding renewals, whatever you want. It's an event center, and you can go
Mhm.
do it at this chateau, which would be really cool. And and then I get to live in basically a castle if I do that. So I'm gonna be up on the top floor. You guys can have the first 3 floors, 4 floors. But that's a big dream. That's a huge dream, isn't it? I think that's almost too big. I can't even imagine living or even being around a chateau and having that many grapes and having a moat and a pond or whatever. I can't even imagine that. So what I'm going to do to get there, I don't have $60 million to build this whole thing, right? I don't have that. I'm not going to get a loan for that. I'm not going to get investors for that. It's kind of people aren't going to invest in an event center necessarily. So if I'm going to do something like that, it's going to be some loans and things like that. But the first thing I'm going to do is build the smaller businesses. Now, I'm not saying
Mhm.
that this is a small business, but make some capital on fidget cubes,
Mhm.
do a little thing, start a side hustle as your main hustle right now, get out of the job, start
Mhm.
selling online, There's a lot of cheap things that you can do to generate some capital. You can market the way that Robert said, and you can actually get some capital to start the big idea. And it's a means to an end. But if you do that right, you save up a little bit and actually fund and bootstrap that little business and actually put some time into that, it'll start churning you some income. And then what you do is you take that income and start saying, well, you're paying yourself, of course, out of your paycheck. That's where you bootstrap your bigger business. And maybe it's a medium sized business this time. It's not your goal yet. You've got this invention. Maybe you've got enough money to file for the patent, but you don't have enough money to actually start the business. So file for the patent.
Right.
Start doing little things along the way. Have a 5-year plan, maybe a 10-year plan, especially if you're working at a fast food or a fast casual. You're not probably making a whole lot of money for your hour of work, sadly. So it's hard to save. So you need that little bit of side hustle sometimes, that little bit of a lily pad to get you out of Chili's or McDonald's and get you onto the next level. And so that's what we're trying to do, is get you, regardless of what level you're on. That's what my rant is about.
Yeah.
You can get to the next level, which the next level may not be a chateau. The next level may be something a little smaller, like selling t-shirts at reverestrategy.com/traction-store. And you can find the Show Me Your Spreadsheets t-shirt. I mean, it's all about being laser focused.
Well, I think it was pretty good. So basically, just if you're going to start a business and you do want investors, get organized, do what you can. It doesn't take money to have class. That was a big thing coming up. So if you just put it together and you say this is what you're going to do, make sure your spreadsheets look really good. Hit up Corey if you need some help with that to get your funding. And then you just want to talk to as many people as possible that could potentially give you a loan. I mean, we've all heard like the thousands of businesses. I think it was like Walt Disney. He got shut down like over 10 or maybe it was like even 100 different places, all shut down, Mickey Mouse and his idea. And then he finally found one person to give him funding. And now he, runs Disneyland, or not, he's dead, obviously, but he started a huge legacy. And so it's all about staying consistent, staying focused, staying laser focused, like our little guy. And then just shooting your shot as much as you possibly can. I mean, honestly, the way that I would get funding, or that I've done this in the past, is go places where people have money, hang out, go to the golf course, go to the bar during the day, go to the fancy restaurants.
In the red light district, they have money.
Nah, just the places where
do not do that.
Where business people hang out. Those are the places you want to go. Rub some schmooze with people, build your network. That was a big thing, and just kind of have this idea and have it strategized. You're going to find somebody, and the funds will come to you if you have the vision and you have the clarity of what you're doing.
And I think that's really important for people to understand. If you go, like, if you're seeking investments, if you're seeking out things, there's a process, and I want to kind of go over that to end it. But in the beginning, think about this: that investor is a client. They're going to give you money in exchange for equity in your company. So your company is the product, or that company equity is the product. And so how do you sell to them? They have $1 million. You might not have $1 million, and that's fine. They want to give you $1 million. How do you convince them to do that? Well, don't worry about that yet. Just get in front of them. Just say, just go to these. There's cocktail hours. And if you don't drink, you don't have to drink. Go to the cocktail hour. A lot of the techie people in Austin have these little, these are their business cards. It's a little RFID chip, and you can just rub it, or put it on the phone like that. And it just pulled up a link, I think. Well, it's on. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, by the way, if you need a background for your phone, I suggest doing that. Stop focusing on stupid shit. That way, when you pick up your phone You're like, oh yeah, I was gonna do Instagram right now. So anyway, back on topic. The financing that you are going to be able to get, don't even worry about the financing yet. Just get in front of the people that are going to finance you in the future, or maybe willing to, or maybe have a connection that is going to get you that financing. And what we're talking about is the Series A, the mezzanine, all of these financing tiers. You really want to get, there's different stages of your progress that they want to see at that mezzanine level. You are going to need, so first is seed funding, bootstrap seed funding. You can get a little seed from friends and family, and then you want to work on the business and get some things going, and then you can start to look for those bigger loans, those bigger investments, because your business is kind of actually rolling from that seed funding or your bootstrap cash. So yeah, there's different levels, different things that people expect. If you're a software company, if you're creating an app, um, you know, the greatest thing that you could do with an app right now is mock it up on Adobe XD and just get on the internet, spend a little bit of money, mock up what the app will look like and do on Adobe XD. If you don't want to purchase Adobe XD and you want to create an app, get somebody that already has Adobe and tell them what you envision and draw it out. And guess what? Now you've got something in Adobe XD that's functional, because you can actually make it link to different pages when you click a button. It's functional. So now you can show an investor, this is what this does. This is what this looks like. Instead of, well, it's going to do this, and this is my idea. Have something on paper or visual aid or something, at least, to show them, hey, here's what I need, and here's what the money is for. So I think that's really an important thing as well. When we're seeking an investment and we need software, that's what we're going to target. We're going to say, look, listen, we have to get to this objective. And you don't want to mention the things that you're purchasing to the investor. You want to mention the end goal that you're trying to get to. So, Robert, what's an end goal that if we got an investor today, we were talking about level up, business mastery, what would be an end goal that we would say we wanted to achieve with their $20,000?
Well, now we got to start the business mastery app, bro. No, I would just be interested in them, selling them confidence and basically breaking down the business model. We're going to be creating a group coaching environment where we can help entrepreneurs, one-on-one and group coaching, give them the training that they need. And there's nobody else. I've never seen a program that's going to be able to provide as much service as we are and change as many lives.
We keep talking about how this is so robust because we've got so many ideas. We've got so much. We've already got so much content between the two of us that we just need to republish in this group. It's kind of astonishing. And we're going to make sure that everybody gets a fighting chance, whether it's about financing, whether it's about marketing. We just want you guys to have some good resources in this Facebook group.
Yeah.
And everywhere else that this is broadcasting.
Yeah, if you need funding for your business, I would definitely reach out to me or Corey, because we could help you put together a plan and probably help you get some seed funding too and find investors,
I've done that. So, my background, I have a degree in business administration with a focus of entrepreneurship. So, you know how you can take a degree course and that's going to be your degree, but they make you focus on one little area or something. That was what my bachelor's degree was in. And is entrepreneurship. So believe it or not, I have produced pitch decks. I have produced business plans. I have worked with people for the last 6 or 7. It's almost 7 years now.
Yeah.
It throws me for a loop that I've been doing this for 7 years. I've worked with so many people and we've seen so many pitch decks we've honed it down to where if we need to have this pitch deck for somebody, we need to have this business plan. We know what we need to do and have a process to target that investor when we're at their table or pitching to them. So if you don't have an investor in mind, it's hard to come up with. You got a general pitch deck, people are just going to blow you off. They've seen a million of them.
Right. And you got to stand out.
You got to stand out, and you got to be motivated about your product. Guess what? We've all watched Shark Tank. What do the sharks really love? Mr. Wonderful loves to see sales, right?
Yep.
But everybody loves to see really motivated entrepreneurs with a great idea, and they want to just spread the love all over the United States. That's what they're looking for, is those companies that are massively expandable and duplicatable, and we can just create a bunch of products. We can sell it in stores. We can sell it on TV with Lori Grenier. All of these things are that's possible because of an investment. They're asking for a specific thing. Hey, we want to get in front of this many people so that we want to expand throughout the United States. We just right now we're breaking even plus a little bit of profit, but that's not going to get us there, and we need to get there. That's the next level up for us. That's what they're asking for. Those are the successful pitches at the Shark Tank. We need your money to get us to the next level, so we're United States wide or worldwide sellers of these products or whatever, or apps or whatever. Those are the ones that get the investments. So if you're making general slideshows on PowerPoint, we got to talk.
You gotta kind of not like have the stars aligned, but you got to have your shit lined up where it's a great idea, you have great growth opportunity, and you're confident, and you maybe have some sales, and you have projections of what it's going to be like, So
and I'll tell you, on the investor side, guess what? It's going to be, you need to set some time aside to get. That's your job. If you're working on getting investments, that's your job. Instead of selling your product, you're not even selling your product yet.
Yeah.
You're trying to get that investment. And so that's what you're working on. You're honing that sales tagline. You're honing that 60-second elevator pitch. You're honing these messages for your audience, and your audience is that investor. So first things first, if you got your seed funding lined up and you've got a little bit of a runway, don't say runway to investors, but and this is something that I've been privy to recently. I've gotten a little more in depth with all of the investment and the VC thing. Is you're going to have to find these people, ask them if they would, make a relationship with them first, right? And then you're going to ask them, hey, would you like to be on our list, our and our update list, and you want to send out investor updates to these people that haven't invested yet once a month. And so you're going to foster that relationship once a month with, here's how our company is doing. We've advanced in these metrics that we were looking at in March. Now it's April. Here are our goals for April. And then now we're in May. We look back and say, these are the goals that we had. And we've been sending these messages out to the investors.
I think we're going to have to do that now, Corey.
Months and months. Are we going to do that?
Yeah, we have to. We should make a list of 100 people that would be a good investor in our business. And then we reach out to them, every month or every now and then touch base. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we could potentially do that. But here's the thing is, I've got to go to the Austin Digital Jobs, Remote Digital Jobs Bash. And I can't remember what Bash stands for. But that's going to be, beers over at the beer garden or whatever. And I'm going to meet a lot of business owners,
businessy people,
and then people that are looking for jobs. I'm going to find a bunch of those.
Yeah.
But we're all going to have some beer and make a conversation. And hopefully I can at least keep some people in my circle afterwards, right?
Make some
So
connections. Use your
make some
golden
good
ticket to
connections.
networks.
Yes, golden ticket to networking. It works, man. And you don't even have to tell people you're doing it. You're just like, hey, so what are you interested in? You like biking?
No.
I like biking. I like hiking. What do you got? Oh, Netflix. Yeah, me too, secretly, you know. So so you know, when we talk about these things, we really need to be intentional about where we're going with the conversation. If we're talking to somebody that's looking for a job, maybe we have a job that they fit into. Great, fantastic. But for the investor side of things, we need to seek these people out.
Mhm.
Whoever's running the party over at meetup.com, figure out who's running it. This one is Lonnie from the Austin Digital Jobs. She kind of runs the Bash thing too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go find Lonnie and say, who do I need to talk to?
Yeah.
I'll buy you a beer. Tell me 5 people that I absolutely need to talk to. And that's going to start us off, you know, or whatever. And of course,
Right.
I know Lonnie a little bit. We've never met in person, but she's got some awesome stuff. So I comment on her stuff, and hopefully we've got a good rapport. So I'm going to go up to her and be like, hey, let's do this.
Who should I schmooze with?
Yeah, absolutely. So Robert, why don't you talk for a second, and I'm going to close these doors.
Well, I think that was a pretty good episode on basically financing and debating if you're going to either bootstrap or find investors. I mean, people should really always try and get investors. I mean, cash is trash, but if you can get more fuel for your engine, more fuel for your business, you know, you're going to be able to take off. You just have to make sure you have the right business model, make sure you're doing the right things. And that's what me and Corey are here to do, is help you make sure you know what you're doing, you're staying focused, and you're getting where you want to go. But I think that was a pretty good episode. I think we're just going to wrap it up. You have any last final thoughts, Corey?
Well, I just want everybody to stay laser focused. And I think just understanding that there's levels that you can get to without really going into I need a $13 million investment for my software app. If you're just trying to be a bakery and maybe open a second location, sometimes an injection of capital is exactly what you need. So if you want to do that, I think making your business expandable and replicable, and making sure that you can take this business model and put it over here and it works, that's the most important part. And once you got that figured out, if you get an investor to open that second location, now you've doubled your revenue,
right?
Because you've now got 2 stores, or tripled because you got 3 or whatever. And so you start to build these business units, and that's what we're looking for. Really, we want businesses that are looking to have multiple locations and things like that. That's what the financing is going to have for you. That's the benefit.
Get it.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that wraps it up. I didn't really see any questions today in the comments. If you do have any questions, just feel free to reach out to myself or Robert, and we will help you out. I mean, that's what we're here for. So
hell yeah. Talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.